Hi, my name is Alex Sutherland, and I'm one of the founders of Modit, and I'm our lead client-side developer. And I wanted to do a brief video today on what Modit is, how you can use the Modit platform to accelerate your web development, and just generally why Modit is awesome. And I'm going to do that by giving you a quick overview of Modit, and then we're going to build, develop, deploy a web application all in the browser in about 5 minutes. So first off, Modit is a free and open in-browser IDE, revision control system, deployment platform for HTML, CSS, JavaScript projects, and it's integrated with community features for sharing, reusing, and learning from other people's code. So basically, from having an idea for a web application to building it to deploying it live to your users, you can do that all for free on Modit in your browser. So I'm just going to dive in here and get started creating our app. Now to create this, I'm going to use the new project creator tool, which is a Modit we wrote that has some nice tools for importing existing GitHub repos, starting from template Modits, starting a project from scratch, etc. And for this demo, I'm going to import the Quintus engine, which is an HTML5 game engine that is written by a guy named Pascal Redig. And we're just going to import one of the demos. So his demos are in the examples folder. We're going to bring in the platformer example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab his repo URL, put that in here, and then I'm going to pull the lib folder, that's where he keeps his library files, and the examples/platformer folder, and click import. And it's going to download those files from GitHub. That can take a few seconds. But once it's done, it'll load that code into our Modit, and we'll be ready to go. So success, we've loaded the GitHub repo into our Modit, and you can see it in your code menu here, examples, platformer. In our lib folder, we have the Quintus engine, and we just need to do these 3 steps at the right. So the first one is we need to open our Modit manifest JSON file and set the start variable to the path of our main HTML file, which was in examples/platformer/index.html. So step 2 now is to click the refresh button at the top right of the app preview. Do that here, and you can see we've got a game. We can jump around, stuff like that. And the final step is to click Save My Mod at the top right of the page. And this is going to create a new Modit at a new URL. This is my URL, where I can develop my web application. Now, when you first create a new Modit through the project creator tool, you're going to get this Getting Started pop-up here. This has a lot of really good information on how to develop, deploy, and share your code, as well as a bunch of useful links at the end. I highly recommend you guys check it out, but for our purposes, let's just get started editing this application. So the first edit I'm going to make is going to be a code edit. I'm going to open up the platformer.js file, and I'm going to cheat horribly by moving this tower, that's our goal in the game, down here so I can just walk over to it. And if we look through the code here, it says finally add in the tower goal. I'm just going to move it right a bit and down a bit, and click this refresh button. This loads the current state of our code into the app preview. And as you can see, I put the tower too low, so I'm going to move it up. And voila, we have a tower. We can run over and win. Next, I'm going to alter the images in the game. So I'm going to open up my images tab here, and I'm going to go ahead and replace the tile with a nice little grass brick tile I have here. Let's refresh and take a look at that. And then maybe I'll go in here, and in the Modit image editor, I'll draw a little smiley face on the final tower real quick. So do a little mouth, 2 eyes, and we can refresh and see that in action. And you'll notice that when you refresh in Modit, the update is instant. That's actually because we build your whole Modit in memory, so there's no server requests or anything when you refresh the app. So there you go. We have our changed game, and now let's talk about deployment. So to actually deploy my changes live to my users, I need to update my Modit. Now Modit automatically autosaves to the cloud as you type, so you can see all these changes I've made. I can restore to any point in time as I see fit. But if I want to actually update my Modit, I can do that by clicking this update button, adding an update message. So I moved the tower and edited images. And that will create a new revision for my Moddit. And a revision is a fixed point. Your users always see the latest revision. And so my users are going to see revision 2. And that's actually it. My Moddit is now deployed. It's deployed in 2 places. The first is the web application running standalone is always deployed at modditkey.moddit.net. Your Moddit key is the part of your URL that comes after mod.it here. And this is my live web application running standalone full screen. Any user can also browse to this Moddit URL, and if they're not the owner, they won't see the file menu, they won't be able to manage the application, but they will be able to interact with it, browse its code, and fork it if they want. So depending on whether you're targeting, end users or other developers, you might share either link with them. But that's all there is to it. This application is live, it's deployed, and we've done that all in about 5 minutes. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I just want to mention one more thing. If you get started with Moddit and are having any problems, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to help. We're new and our documentation isn't great. We do have our help menu here, which tells you where you can email us at beta@mod.it. You can also post on the Moddit subreddit, and we will be happy to answer your questions. So please don't hesitate to ask for help, give us feedback. We're just getting started, and we really want to work with early adopters to make the process of using Moddit as smooth as possible. Thanks.